Okay, welcome back, YouTubers. Well, we have it here. We have two tunnel walls installed inside the tunnel port here. I want to show you what I did on the back side of the board here. Went ahead and done just a little paint right there. You can see light through there, but once you put the tunnel port wall up, let me grab it right quick. Once you put this up here, see, you don't see that. Don't see it at all. And then it looks pretty good. And then, you know, of course, naturally right now we can see through. But once we put up the other styrofoam, paint it all black and everything inside, you'll never know. But that right there, I think, looks a lot better. You see all them waves and looks like it's been chiseled out right there. I put some more ballast in there. It's drying right now. There you go. See inside. And it's got little spots here and there, a little white in it. That's fine. That's fine. Because back here you really can't see it. But anyway, here's the back side. You can have an idea what it looks like right there. All this is glued together. It's glued in there. Any car that was a derail in here, I can access from the access porch and be able to get out. I mean, there's not going to be no car that's going to be so small that I can't reach in there and, you know, work it out. So I'm not too much worried about, you know, these being fastened down solid. Now, if I was to take this all the way out, yes, I would have to have it fixed where it hinged. But we ain't worried about that right now because all this is going to be open other than the tunnel wall that's going to be right here. So you're going to have a tunnel. The styrofoam's going to come up on this right here. All this is going to be black on the inside, so you're not going to be able to see all that. And then once the whole mountain is done, it's really going to take a real good effect, I believe. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pause the camera here in just a second, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting my supplies ready, and I'm going to bring y'all back so you can watch me do this one. Okay, welcome back, YouTubers. Welcome back. Okay, remember what I told you? If you're buying your mom and dad or anybody got some excess styrofoam left over from packaging that were delivered to the house or something, I'd save them. This one right here is about 1 inch right there, and it's about 6 inches wide, 7 inches wide probably. I haven't measured it. But anyway, I took my trusty scale thing here and I measured it, and I come out to be 10 centimeters. Get in here where you see that. Lighting's a little bad today, but anyway, right at 10 centimeters. So I took my trusty thing, I come right here and I measured it out, just like so. And I just use a black marker to mark it all the way across. Now when you're using your styrofoam cutter, it's going to be about the width of a black Sharpie when it cuts through that. So it's going to be close. Just try not to get a little too short because then you'll have to add to it. Alright, it's 10 here. But as it comes out to here, it gets a little taller, because remember this section right here inclined up from here all the way back over to the bridge here, the overpass. So I went ahead and cut me a couple pieces out, and since how this curves, to make it a little easier, I just kind of just broke it, but yet not all the way through, just on the side. So once I lay it up in there, there you go. See there? I can push it right up against it. Throw a little bead of glue in there. Same way with the other piece. And just a little snap. Just a little snap. You're not going to see this part. You're not going to see this. But you want it to fit kind of snug. You see right there, it's already inclining up. That's not a big deal because I got to cut one more piece here, one piece here to get two tunnel. That's not quite long enough. But anyway, when I put that other piece in, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up a little bit higher, but I'm going to cut it down to kind of meet up a little bit. And then once I put glue in there and you paint it black, you add a little more ballast, you'll never see it. Then once again, there's the other one. I didn't show you before, but you also want to make sure. Let me get over here where we can see. Let me get a good shot. Now before I took and glued anything down, I took my longest passenger car and made sure that it goes through. Even with the tunnel port, you want to make sure that it goes through also. Because if that won't go through your tunnel port, you can't run it on this track. Because I guarantee you'll derail every time and you'll start scuffing the paint off. Now with these tunnel ports, they are HO size. For the Woodland Scenics Grand Valley, they are HO size. And they're really meant for a straight in tunnel. Not one that's curving in like these right here. Now back there on them two, oh, that'd be great. It's a little close. I had my son hold it up here and I run it through and checked it out, and it was close. So whenever we get ready to mount the tunnel port, we got to make sure we give ourselves enough room on this side versus this side, because this side you got plenty of room. Plenty of room. Alright. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up the tripod. I'm going to bring it over and I'm going to start showing you what I'm going to do right here. And get these tunnel ports put together. And I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, welcome back. Alright, I went ahead and got my tunnel ports, my tunnel walls, I'm sorry, put together. Now, since I'm not opening and closing the tunnel walls, I went ahead and run me a bead of glue down through the center using my trusty glue gun. And I went ahead and just put one piece of my plaster cloth over the top. And this time I cut a little smaller because I'm going to show you why here in just a few minutes. But first, let's go ahead and start getting ready to glue down our walls here. Using our trusty pins once again to hold it in place. There we go, got that one in. Come around the other side. Holding it good and firm up against it. Now, yes, I talked to you a while ago in the video that this is inclining up. It's not a big deal because you have 1.5 inch clearance inside the top of the wall to the top of your engine and cars. So that's not a big deal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and continue to run it out just like it is, and it's going to incline up. Then we'll check it. If it don't work, then we'll just have to come back and put a little piece in. So I got me another piece right here, like so. Just went ahead, it's practically the same height. We'll lay it to the side. Now we'll start test fitting these. Now, as you see, there's a pretty good sized gap in here, so we're going to have to trim this tunnel wall in order to get it to fit in there the way we want it to fit. Now, the other one I took and cut out the front right here of the tunnel where we cut out the template from the previous videos, and let this slide in. That's what I'm going to do here. So just lay it up here straight. Make sure your corners, your sides are straight up and down. Now I'm just taking, run a fine line up like so. Then anywhere I might need to trim on the styrofoam itself, that's what we're going to do. So we'll get our styrofoam cutter out, get it plugged up and ready to go. Turn it on. Sit it right here, let it heat up. Now you want to make sure that you use something to keep your styrofoam cutter from getting all over everything and melting and burning down your house. Very important there. But it won't take just a second for this thing to warm up. Already warming up. See, yeah, that styrofoam just peeling off. Then I just come right over here. Got a little bit at the top. Just going to melt it off. Now this does put off a fume. I don't suggest that you stand right over top of it and breathe it in. And it's okay if you go to the outside of the line. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. And you're gonna have strings of styrofoam going everywhere too. Just like the glue does. It just gets all over the place and all over your track. So you have to constantly keep coming back and cleaning all that gunk off. Have that. Now these things don't take just a second to warm up, so always just cut it back off as soon as you're done. Now it's still hot. It takes a few minutes to cool off, but it don't take long to get hot. Throw that in our little trash. Get our wall back up here and see how it fits. Still a little snug. But now since our tunnel port is covering up this cutaway, I'm not too worried about what it looks like in here because that tunnel port is smaller opening than what the walls are in the styrofoam wall here is. So all I'm going to do is get this corner here flush with the outside here and try to get that gap right there just as close, and then check to see that I got the same measurement from the track to the walls. It ain't got to be precise, but it needs to be close. From the track there's about 3.3 and about 3. But we can do a little bit right there. We can go 3.1. Right at 3.1, so that's pretty close. So I'm not gluing nothing down. The reason is this is the part where it gets a little more trickier. Okay, I have a bad spot in this. Make sure I can see that on the camera. Either I can leave that out here, or since I've got to trim here and here, I might be able to trim that out. And since you're not going to be looking up in there much, that ain't going to be as visible. But I think we're just going to leave it on the end right here, just to make things easier for us. So now I got that up there. I got a pretty good sized gap right here. We don't want that gap. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to figure out what my measurement is here, and we're going to trim that much off on both pieces. So I'll get it up here nice and straight, flush, eyeballing it. I'm just eyeballing it here. Take our, get some measurement, 1.5 centimeters. So we're going to do 3/4 centimeter from the top, and I like to come over this side. And I'm going to go to 3/4 right here. And I'm going to trim that off. Now this is curved. It's real hard to describe how to do it. It's just trial and error. Trial and error is all I can say on that. But we're gonna mark 3/4 centimeter, and we're gonna file all this off. It don't take much to file it off with your trusty little file. I got a pretty good rasp. And while we got this here, I'll go ahead and figure out about how much more I need right here. About right there. We'll use that over there. And over here, we got plenty. So all we need was one little piece. We'll put it on in a few seconds. So I'm going to have to move the camera to where I can work a little bit easier over here at the other side. I got a little pan I've been using to catch my stuff in whenever I'm filing, and I want to show you how to do that. See you right back. Okay, we're back. We're over here on the work area right here. Before I brought it over here, this was the piece that was up against the tunnel port there. I went ahead and labeled it 1, put an X on the side, and I labeled the back piece X with a 2. So I'll know which piece was which. So when I trim it out, I don't trim out the wrong side. If we trim out the wrong side, guess what? Start a whole new one. Which we got to make some new ones for the walls over there, but we'll get to that later. So I told you I was going to do about 3/4 of a centimeter on each. Well, it's about a centimeter on each one. Yeah, just a little under a centimeter. I have my trusty trowel cutters here. I use this whenever I'm making laying tile in the kitchen or the bathrooms or anything, and it works great for trimming this off. So remember, like I said, we want to go from over here. I'm trying to get my arm out of there so y'all can see what's going on here. From up this side right here, we're just going to come down probably about right in there, and then I want to cut that out just a little bit. I'm just kind of just giving an idea how much I need to cut off. And this is still wet from whenever I was laying the piece over, so this is not marking out good. I'm having a hard time here. But anyway, the parts I want to cut out, there we go. I like to do a little bit more at the bottom, not much, just a little bit. And then whenever I put my rasp on it, right here, it's really going to get it down real good. So, make sure I'm in the camera here real good. I'm just going to nibble that off with the nippers here. It's not hard at all to get. And then once I get right here at the top, I just a little bit to the other side, just a little bit. Then I take my rasp on the rough side first. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait, because next we're going to do the other side. This wanting to be a little more trickier. No, I didn't mark this one, but I kind of have an idea how much I need to take off. So, and just a little bit off of that corner. There you go. And this, like I said, this makes a lot of mess. It's plaster and it crumbles pretty easy. So again, I'm just kind of don't want it just to be like. Just want to kind of bring it. Get that little bit of glue out of there. You see, I kind of didn't do enough right there, so I'm going to have to file a little more extra right there off. Right there. Summertime here in Georgia right now, and oh, it's been hot the last couple of days, so I told the wife I'm coming down here and work in the basement a little bit so I can kind of get this project going. Okay, well, if you see that, yes you can. Good. Alright, got a little bit of a hole right here, and I got a little hole right here. The back side looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over here. I'm just going to do a quick fit just to make sure that the radius and everything's going to come out. See if I need to trim a little more. And if I need to trim more, I will. If I don't, I think that's low enough. Once I put some black paint in there and some glue, you'll never see that through the tunnel wall. So let me take this over here. I'm going to hand the camera over here so you can see me fitting it right there. It'll be right over yonder. Okay. So I'll lay my first one up in here. Then I'm going to go ahead and ease that one side in. I might have to come back and do a little more trimming there, it looks like. Yeah, that looks good. And I lay this one up and I butt both the edges together. Kind of hold it like I got it glued together. Here we go. And we can live with that. We can live with that. Oh yeah. So I'll tell you what. That looks good. That looks good. I'm going to take and get my paint out. Go ahead and get my paint out. I'm going to paint up the edges here. We don't want to see no white, and I got some white right in there. I'll touch up with some paint where this plaster's rubbed off. Get all that painted up right quick, and then I'll meet y'all back over there at the corner. Be right back. Alright, welcome back. We're over here now. I got my supplies over here. Hopefully I ain't got to chase nothing down. You might hear my pool outside. It's running. Yeah, like I said, it's hot outside, and I've been doing a lot of work here lately, getting hay up for the horses and everything. Been working on the pool, getting it ready for kids and us when it gets hot out here in a little bit. Hopefully we're going to get out there. It's Sunday here for Memorial Day. I think we're going to do some hot dogs and hamburgers and enjoy the pool a little bit here a little while. And first thing we're going to do, I'm going to run a bead of glue. Still trying to get a little warm. Ain't quite ready yet. But anyway, talking about the tunnel walls here while that's warming up. I'm going to go ahead and work and focus on this side first. On that side, I'm just going to skip the video on that, doing the tunnel walls. Because if you can do the curves, the straights are going to be simple. I'm going to go ahead and make me 4 more of the tunnel walls here. I'll do that off camera. I'll go ahead and get that in place, and then on my next video we're going to start laying the styrofoam sides and getting ready to do the mountain part. So we can get this thing up and rolling. This is an add-on that I chose to do because I like the effect of the walls, the way it looks. And you don't have to do this. You can skip this part if you want to, but I think it really adds a nice effect to the layout itself. While I was in here painting earlier, I got a little paint on the ballast right here, but when you're looking inside, it looks like where the smoke had come up over the walls and just had laid, and I think it made a nice little effect. I just went ahead and just smeared just lightly, just kind of run my brush over it, and it looked real good, I thought. So it gives it more effective. Have you ever been to where a train goes through a tunnel and you're actually looking around? The gravel in that area is dark and greasy looking and oily looking, and I think it'll work great for this. So I'm just going to leave it like it is. Still not quite ready. I tell you what, I'm going to put it on high for a minute, let it speed up, because remember this is a 2-temp gun. I use it on high when I'm doing stuff like the plaster itself, but now when you go to the styrofoam, you want to make sure it's on low. You don't want it too hot because it'll just melt. That glue will go right through that styrofoam. It just eats it away. It's so hot. Yeah, so I'm going to put it back down on low now. And anybody that's fooled with glue guns, they know when you first put another stick in, it takes a few minutes to get that stick to really go in there like you want it to. That's wanting to cooperate. There we go. Alright, I want to stop right there on that one. See there? I hate that. If you get a little pressure on it, it'll go. We'll put a little bit down in there. I like to smear that right there a little bit worse. So when I put my tunnel walls on there, it won't rise up. There we go. And I'm keeping my hand there because while that glue's setting, then walls want to pull away. See there? So if I just hold it for a second, just let it set. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go over here and push in right here, but I've got to wait till that right there sets a little bit. And I can put a little bit at the bottom. On both sides here. That right there will work. Whoops. Don't touch the end of that thing. It's hot now. Get some glue down in there. Right up against the tunnel port here. I'm going to get some glue to run down in there. Alright, hold that a second. Let that cool off. Go ahead and get some down here at the bottom. You ain't got to glue the whole thing, just enough to hold it in place. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'll come back in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and glue all the styrofoam in place. Now I'll probably bring the camera back off the tripod and I'll let you see where I glue it. Like I said, don't worry about this mess right here. You ain't going to see that anyway. That, you know, if this was going to be on the outside of the layout, yes, we'd want to make sure that's good and pretty. See how it's still wanting to come back. So I'm going to sit here and hold it, and I'll pause the camera, be right back. Okay, welcome back. Got everything glued in. Got a bead run across through here, a couple beads down here at the bottom, so see that don't move, nothing's moving. Had a pretty good little gap right here. We could have went and trimmed that and slid it forward, but I didn't. So what I did, I put a little glue in there, let it set, let it cool off. Then I put a little more glue, let it set and cool off. Put a little more. Now it's got a little bit of a divot, but we'll fill that in with ballast. Now that we got that all set in, we're going to get our black paint and remove our blacks here. I just put a little on here to don't get that on your track. Just a little bit. And just kind of get in there. Ain't gotta be perfect because ballast, we're gonna put some more ballast in here to cover up. But we don't want to get it all over our other ballast neither. So get that dark effect in here. Make sure I'm not covering up everything. Working off the tripod and everything. Sometimes I find myself when I'm editing my videos, I got in the video and you couldn't see what I was doing. We don't want that. And it ain't got to be all the way because you ain't going to see the outside of that anyway. But I do like to kind of come up in there, get that over here. We just don't want to see no white once we're looking at an angle. We want to get all that covered good. And then like I said, wherever we're going to have our ballast. It's going to cover the rest of it up. Just take a dab up against the other styrofoam. And if you get a little on the ballast, it's okay, because we're going to put more ballast, so that's no big deal. Alright, so we got that done. I'll set this over here in the water, let it soak up that water, because I'm done painting for now. So we'll get our ballast right here. And it's going to be the same thing as the last. I'm just going to put it right on the edges there. I want to cover up. And I'm not doing nothing special with this ballast here. Because like I said, this is inside the tunnel walls. It's not nothing special about this. And we're just going to let that fill up that gap over there like that. I'm not even going to run the bead of glue down through there this time. I'm just going to hit it with my wet glue and let that be it. Get my spray bottle here. Oop, my wet water. I did forget something. I do like hit with that wet water though. It seems like it helps that glue soak in better. It don't run off so much. Come over here, I'm just gonna squirt that in there. Let that soak down in there good. Once this is good and wet, then we come back and put a little bit more ballast, and that'll help. Let it stick on the walls a little bit more. Now I don't know if there's a tunnel out there or not in the world that inclines. I mean, it's kind of do what you want to do. I mean, you know, if you want a more realistic thing, you know, you might want to go with a different color ballast, because like I said before, I'm not going to go buy extra ballast when this comes with the kit. You know, I think that's good. We're going to leave it alone. We're going to go with what we got. This is my first layout. I had a layout when I was a kid. Didn't build it. Somebody else had built it and we purchased it, but this being my first one, I'm not going to put a whole lot of money in it, because it's enough money in the track and the engines alone, and then that's going to DCC later on. There's a lot of money in this. Something I do need to point out is I'm going to do a little thinking before I get too far ahead of myself. Once I get the other tunnel walls put in, do I need to run some wires up through the layout? Because if I put a building up here, I might want to light it up or something. So I got to figure that out, how I'm going to wire that up, because once I do that, then I'll have to run my wires a different way. I mean, that's, you're looking, this mountain's a pretty good sized mountain. It's a good sized mountain, and you ain't gonna be able to run your wires down through the layout to get back down to the bottom. So if you're going to do anything up on the mountain as far as lights and stuff, or anything that's going to have electricity run up there, go ahead and plan it now, because once you put the mountain up, then you're going to have to come up with something else to run the electricity up there. Now over there in that back section back there, you can get a 4-inch drill bit and it'll go right through. But here, you're looking a good foot at the top of the mountain, maybe more. Alright, well, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to let this set for just a few minutes, because I want to get that water, everything dried up right quick before I put the tunnel walls on, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Alright, went ahead and laid my first tunnel wall up right here. Went ahead and made sure I had it kind of inset inside this side here. This side is right on the corner outside, it's fine. Set it up here, went ahead and run my car through, made sure I had clearance on the other side. So whenever we're running our cars in there, they don't bump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue on this wall, because I don't want it moving no more. I'm happy where it's at. And some down here so it don't move. Come on the other side, do a little bit over here. I'm not gluing the second one on yet, just the first one. And it ain't got to be glued all the way, but I did want to run a bead all the way down that side because it helped block out some of that light. Now we'll take this one, let's do the inside. I'm just going to butt it up at the bottom, and I'm only going to do the very bottom, maybe an inch up. That's it. Let that set. Make sure the top is still pretty even. I'm going to let that set. I'm going to butt it up right here. Make sure my arm's out of the camera. Put a little bit right here. And then down here at the bottom. And I'm going to come up about an inch. Now, set that to the side. We're going to come back and fix this hole up here. Once you start gluing things down, it might change. I didn't have that much of a gap a while ago, but since it's painted black and all this is going to be black around it and everything else, you ain't going to really see that. So it's no big deal. Don't put a whole bunch of glue up here, because if you do, it's just going to run down inside. So I'm thinking about doing is go over here and wet a small piece of plaster cloth over top of it, and then put some glue on top of that, and that might help hold it together. Now, the plaster, the glue dries a lot quicker, but on the styrofoam it takes longer for it to dry. We'll run our car down through here one more time, and I'm going to look at it through the tunnel and make sure it clears, and it does. And it comes through. It's clearing. So now I'm coming right here at the end. Put some more. Same thing over here. Boy, them little strings of glue, they get everywhere. Now I advise every now and then you need to do a cleanup. Clean up your work area, and it'll make it a lot easier whenever you're get ready to do a final cleanup. It won't be as much to have to worry with. But we're just going to lay that right over the top. I don't even think we'll need to put any. We got to put a little more glue right there. Yeah, we do. I didn't get that glue quite as good as I thought. That paint there at the bottom might be hindering us a little bit. Alright. Let's take the camera around. let you see what's going on. So there you have it. You're not going to see this at all. That tunnel port's going to cover all that up. You see right here what I've done. Glued down the bottom. I still got a stake right there, and you get out and glued it there. Run that little plaster cloth over top where that gap was. That's going to help cover that up. See right here. Get you inside from this angle. There you have it. Alright, you see we got plenty of clearance. Alright, this is the one I'm talking about. This is a sharper radius. I'm going to go ahead and get my tunnel port here. Now what I'm doing, I'm offsetting just a little bit. You can see about 1/8 of an inch to one side, just because of that right there. We'll roll that out of the way. Crash into Thomas down there. Excuse me. And there you have it. See, when you look inside, see, don't that look more like a realistic wall? There won't be no light. It's going to be jet black in there. That ballast is still drying a little bit, so I'm just going to wait a little while, and I'm going to take just my sponge thing, it's over there, it's in a thing of water. I'm going to take it out, and then I'm just going to take, once that ballast dries good, and just gently just rub it and done. That's it. But I don't want it wet, I don't want it dry, I just want it just in the middle, and it'll leave a nice, it looks more realistic in there. I haven't done this outside edge. I'm going to do it too because it's still dry. But that's it, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and the next one, hopefully we'll have all that done, and we're going to start putting in the sides around this back wall. It'll go all the way down, all the way back over here. Then we'll start getting ready to do all the mountain that goes inside. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye bye.